If you're like most internal communication managers, you'll have projects to deliver, plans to see through, and goals to achieve, and you probably want to do it all as well as you can, but at the same time, you're almost certainly going to have niggles and challenges to deal with. In fact, you may well recognize some of these and be able to add a few more of your own. Maybe you'll even find it useful to hit the pause button while you pick out the ones you know only too well. And the point is that no matter how ambitious or conscientious you might be, these issues are always going to slow you down and hold you back pretty much every day until you remove them. Importantly though, they've usually been around for so long and are so ingrained in almost every organisation that many people think they're inevitable and that you just have to make the best of it. But do you? What if we've been missing a trick all along? So I'd like to invite you to imagine what your life could be like if these and other challenges you currently have weren't there anymore, that your working life could be easier and also more rewarding, that you could experience less stress while becoming increasingly confident and justifiably so, and that you can have all the influence you could ever need to do your job exactly the way you want to. In fact, it's not just about how your life could be better, but the lives of all the people you work with and everybody who's directly or indirectly affected by what you do. Talk about a win-win. But could we really make this happen? In a word, probably. But we will need to think about it. After all, if you're going to be able to do your job the way you really want to every day, then the design of all your team's procedures and tools and the skills with which everyone can apply them really need to be demonstrably fit for purpose, and so too does your right to use those practices and skills every time, because if they're not, then by default they're going to be kind of unfit, at least a little bit, which is where these issues come from, and why you or your colleagues may sometimes end up feeling like this or this. But what does demonstrably fit for purpose even look like, and what can you do about it if you're not there yet, especially if you don't have the time to change things, or enough budget, or if you wouldn't know where to start, or if you've got some serious egos to contend with and aren't even sure you'd have their permission to change the way they work with you? Well, that's what the Sweet Spot of Internal Communication is for, a free video book that can show you how to ensure you and all your organisation's internal communication specialists get all the time, budget, confidence, influence and fulfilment you want, because the design of all your internal communication practices, the skill levels you're bringing to the party and your mandate to use them are all demonstrably fit for purpose, so you and your colleagues can deliver your full potential. The book comes in 5 parts. Part 1 helps you see where you are currently in relation to the sweet spot. It looks at the kind of challenges you may well be facing and gives you 2 demonstrably valid purposes for internal communication, so you've got a solid base to work from. Part 2 explains how you can accurately and completely define the sweet spot you want. It uncovers the crucial role of something called the SMARTED principle. And it also starts exploring some of the cultural myths that point so many people down the wrong path, and shows how you can assess the total fitness for purpose of all your team's current practices so you can get clearer about where your sweet spot will be. Part 3 then explores a little more technical detail, helping you to see which practices you might need to add to or refine perhaps within your organisation, and how they all need to knit together. So we consider what a demonstrably fit for purpose IC system looks like and how you can use it to establish a technical mandate to do your job the way you want to. And because nothing comes for free, Part 4 looks at how to get a financial mandate for your sweet spot by tackling the key elephants in the room, some of the wasteful business costs which may currently be out of your hands but which your sweet spot could enable you to reduce or even eliminate, the investments needed to get you to the sweet spot and keep you there, and the ROI it should reasonably deliver so you can build a credible business case to get your leadership team to back your sweet spot financially. And in Part 5 we look at the cultural mandate, because you're unlikely to reach the sweet spot without having to change at least some of the attitudes or practices of clients and approval groups, people who may often have more power than yourself. So in this section we explore how you can circumvent anybody's egos, insecurities or personal agendas by demonstrably aligning the sweet spot to your organisation's values so you get all the political clout you need long term. The internal communication sweet spot. It's groundbreaking, it's highly nutritious, and it's calorie free too. Try it. You're gonna love it.